something else. We worked out with Kendall Graham last week, and if I had a criticism of her game, I would have always said I wish she shot the mid range. So I thought she couldn't shoot it. And then when we worked out with her, I mean, she shoots the mid range. I think we probably worked out for about 2 hours, and I think she might have missed 2 mid range shots over the course of a 2-hour workout.
Yeah, man. She's different. Hey, you, man.
Oh.
She's different.
Whenever my daughter graduates, though, if you need somebody to help you out with the girls, I'll be ready. I watch just as much girls ball as I do the boys.
I already know.
I haven't really looked at the bracket, so I'll be reacting live, basically. I also just realized I haven't talked to her, so
if I'm in doubt, I'm picking the team from the north.
Homer.
All right, guys, here we go, man. Man, hey, Tatum, you had the ambiance in the background, man. I had to go back and find me something to put behind me, man. We couldn't be, Josh. We're gonna have to get.
Y'all could have got me something if y'all was gonna
man.
do all that.
I'm in my wife's office, man. She did all this.
I love it, man. I love it. Yes, sir. There you go. There you go, man. Look, dude, I really appreciate you guys for jumping on, man. Going back and looking at the video, man, and just seeing the love that we had got, for doing it for the first time this past time, man. To come back again, man. Appreciate y'all for tuning in with us. For those that don't know, man, we recapped the brackets and the releases, highlighted a lot of players and stuff. Now we're going to really dive in deep into these second round matchups, as there's going to be 80 games played on Tuesday. 80 games. There's 160 teams left, man. And then after that, man, it cranks down to 80 more teams, 80 teams left. Quarterfinals will be on Friday. And a week from today, man, we will have the state championship brackets all set up. Who's playing well? So it's going to be really, really fast, man. It goes by quick. We're going to jump into doing a second round as well as quarterfinal bracket predictions, because I'll be at the Girls State Championships breaking them down, so we won't be able to go live again until next Sunday, whenever we had the Final Four. But guys, if you haven't already, man, share the stream. Tag somebody from the boys' side. We're just going live with the boys, so we're switching over to LBR. And look, man, we really appreciate these guys for jumping in with us, man. Tatum, Josh, man, appreciate y'all again, man. I'm gonna give y'all an opportunity, man. Go ahead and plug the stuff you guys got, man. Tatum, man, let them know where they can find you at. And I know you had talked about Preps Hoops last time. Isn't there like a little code that you have to where people can sign up and stuff like that?
So in order to sign up on the Prep Hoops platform, just Google Prep Hoops, sign up and fill out all the information. If you have a player that's already in the platform, go inside, claim their profile, and look. And if you can get to any Prep Hoops events, that also helps you out. But everything is it's pretty much self-explanatory once you get into the Prep Hoops app. And like I said, I would encourage every player, parent that has a player, to get your player signed up for the Prep Hoops platform, because it does have a lot of good information about recruiting. And because of us as Prep Hoops scouts, we try to be out there as often as possible. If we see your player and your player's out there doing his thing, we're going to make sure that we get your player written up. And as far as my socials, my Instagram is donald.tatum73. And you can find me on X or Twitter at CPT_Tatum.
Cool. Man, Josh, again, echo the same thing, man. Really appreciate you, man, for joining us, man. Everyone knows the man behind the camera, man. It's been really cool to kind of get your feedback and your thought process on everything. You travel around AAU, high school, football. You see a lot of different sides of the game, man. So let them know, man, where can they find you at? We talked about that YouTube channel, man. We got to get you to 20K, man. That's really impressive, man. So let them know, Josh, where can they find you at?
Yeah, I think I'm getting closer. It's just Josh Preston's video vault on YouTube. If you just search Josh Preston, it'll probably come up. Maybe Josh Preston with a certain high school team, whatever the case. But it's on YouTube. I'm on Instagram, TikTok. I've been a little more active on TikTok lately, so you can catch me there. It's J Preston Sports everywhere. J Preston Sports 504 on TikTok. So just give me a like, subscribe, comment, all that good stuff. You can get a membership too. The membership's are $10. You get the games early. You get full games. All that kind of good stuff. So yeah, appreciate y'all watching.
Absolutely, man. Hey, this dude's been super, 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 super. I guess not transparent. He's got 3,000 videos out there, man. 3,000 videos, man. I know how everyone is. At least when I was teaching, man, everyone was hanging up on these, these videos, watching them in class and everything, man. Make sure you lock in, man.
Videos sometimes.
I mean, that's how I was myself, man. So I can't take nothing from him, man. But make sure you're following him, man. He's got 3,000 videos, man. So a lot of content. Again, it's not just basketball, man. So he's all over the place. But yeah, man, we appreciate y'all for joining in, man. We called a lot of upsets. Well, you guys called a lot of upsets, and Crystal Ball was shooken a little bit. First time out on the boys' side, man. I got my pen and paper ready, man. I'm ready to take some notes. But man, let's go ahead and jump right into it again, man. We're gonna do second round, and we're gonna go ahead and do quarterfinals as well. Guys, in the comments, man, comment anything down below. That is the girls. Let me get the boys up there. There we go. Division I non-select, man. Zachary, they took the bye. They're gonna take on West Monroe. West Monroe with a huge win over HL Bourgeois. Then we got Ouachita Parish and Sulphur down at the bottom. Tatum, man, you want to get us kicked off, man? What's your thoughts on this part of the bracket? Who do you see winning these two games, and who do you see coming out of it?
So I've got the opportunity to watch Zachary and West Monroe a lot. West Monroe was a lot better than they were at the beginning of the season. They had a couple of players that missed the early part of the season, but those players are back. They've got a really athletic kid. I think they're going to play Zachary tough. But I just think Zachary is just too tough. I think they got too much for West Monroe. The Edmond kid, Xavier, Christian, I think he just committed to ULL for football. They're too athletic. I think they're going to have too much for West Monroe.
I mean, Josh, you want to add anything to that top part, or you want to comment anything on the bottom, man? I mean, I know you've seen Zachary a lot and filming that basketball, just powerhouse in Baton Rouge, man. As boys basketball is just off the chain over there in Baton Rouge, man. You want to comment on that a little bit?
Yeah, for sure. Zachary Liberty, I think I might have mentioned it last stream, but that was the best game I've been to all year. That atmosphere was crazy. Like, they got a big board. They're playing like a highlight reel before the game. They got like fireworks in there. Like, it's the whole nine. So yeah, as far as the picks, man, Zachary, like, I can't see him going out this early for sure. And then on the bottom side, I haven't seen so far. I was trying to kind of maybe check their schedule, see if they played anybody that I saw, which they haven't. But I'll go Washington just because I know a couple kids on that team, Darren Ford, and I kind of got a chance to see them a little bit in the summer. That'll be a tough one on the road, but I think I'll go Washington.
I'm taking Washington on the road too. Like he said, Darren Ford. They've got another kid. I kind of look at him as the leader of the team, Zion Hunter. I mean, if you stop Ford, then you still got to deal with Hunter. They're really good, 1 through 6. I don't think they're going to be able to stop those guys. Washington is just tough. They're coached really well. They shoot the ball really well. They've got a 6'8" kid that does what he's supposed to do around the rim. And they've got a kid that plays the 4 spot that shoots the ball really well. So if your plan is to stop any of those guards, good luck, because I mean they shoot the ball well. They really do everything. Washington, they hit a bump in the road towards the end of the season, and I think that's why they ended up finishing in the 9th spot. But looking at Washington and seeing them play live, I would say they're more like a 3 or a 4 seed.
Man, that's big right there. So you both got Washington and Zachary advancing, man. So in that quarterfinal matchup, man, with a trip back to Lake Charles on the line, I would imagine you're both leaning towards Zachary. But what's some things that Washington could see some success with? What does Washington have to do to get over that hump and winning at Zachary in the quarterfinals? Either one of y'all.
Well, Washington has the size to be able to deal with Zachary, and I mean, really just trying to figure out how to stop Hunter and Ford. But the other thing, outside of Hunter and Ford, everybody understands their role on the team. So if everybody's doing what they have to do for Washington, I think it's going to be a tough out. But going into Zachary and winning, I saw Rustin do it last year in the quarterfinals. But the way Zachary is playing right now, I think Washington might be a year off. So if I had to pick a team between Zachary and Washington, even though generally I try to go with the teams from the north, that would be a huge upset, and it would be something to really put them on the map. But I don't see anybody taking out Zachary, and Zachary is supposed to play in the state championship this year.
Josh, you echo that, man? Like what's some weaknesses of Zachary? I mean, are they just like that much better than everybody in this part of the bracket?
Yeah, I mean, I think they can be got. I mean, Slidell beat them recently towards the end of the season. I think if you can, contain Xavier and Ian, I've seen Ian Edmond. I've seen Edmond have, maybe a slow start here and there. He's still a sophomore. He's a young kid. Xavier, I know Xavier's going to come to play for sure. But if you can keep those two kind of under wraps, you'll have a chance. Christian Brooks, who Donald mentioned, the UL football commit. He's a really good athlete. He's not always scoring a ton, so maybe if he's kind of an X factor for him. Like if he gets like 15 to 16, you probably won't win the game.
Definitely.
But I would still lean Zachary here, but I think Washington's got a shot.
And again,
Zachary,
guys, go ahead.
Zachary doesn't really have a lot of size. I don't even know if they have anybody on the roster that's taller than 6'4" or 6'5".
Yeah, Christian's probably their biggest kid, I think. Yeah. That plays a lot.
And that would play in the Washington's end, because Washington they've got a kid that's 6'8", and only thing he wants to do is rebound and put it back. So and block shots. So if there was anything that could frustrate Zachary, it would be their the big at Washington.
Love it, man. And again, like all we're trying to do, guys, is get the conversation started. Zachary is the 1 seed for a reason. We are not taking any credit away from them. with the intention that we'll be talking about them on next Sunday as well. We're just trying to throw out some things and some insight to kind of fill some things part of this bracket, man. But, man, Tatum, I'm going to let you take this one away, man, because the man came on last week and said if anybody can upset on the road at North Shore, 28 seed goes on the road. Airline defeats North Shore 49-45. Mr. Tatum called it, man. He called it here, and now Airline's going to take on Covington, where Covington has struggled, and they also have already lost to Airline. I mean, can Airline get another one here? Can a 28 seed make it to the quarterfinals, man? What's your thoughts on this part of the bracket?
So I'm taking Airline again over Covington. Kevin White is a kid that spent the majority of the season out. He's a kid that can do everything, and he sits down on defense. They've got a 6'6", 6'7" kid over there that plays the wing. He can shoot the ball. He can shoot the 3 ball, hit the mid-range, and he finishes really well at the rim. So this is the best 28 seed. Well, they might be the only one that's still left that's at that 28 spot. But Airline is probably more like a 10 or 11 seed. So I'm taking Airline against Covington. And for Neville and Natchitoches Central, I've watched Neville play a lot of games, and I've also watched Natchitoches Central. The kid from Natchitoches Central's name, Jadale Demery. I watched him have a 21.25 rebound game. He's about 6'3", 6'4", but he's a really active player around the rim, and I don't think that Neville is going to have the size to be able to deal with him. Neville has really good guard play, and they've got their quarterback is also a shooter, Parker Robinson. He went for 31 last week. So between Parker Robinson and Alan Fisher, I think they're going to put up a good fight. But Natchitoches Central with Demery and their really tough point guard, I think Natchitoches Central is going to pull it out.
Josh, man, what's your thoughts, man? I think something that we don't talk about, these teams that have these buys, especially over the 4 seed, you start getting a little closer. The 4 playing the 13, a little closer in seeding. Natchitoches Central hasn't played a game since February 21st. So they're on a little bit of a bye here. Haven't played in a few weeks. Going on, what is that? 10 days, 12 days, 11 days, somewhere around there. Could that have an impact? Josh, what's your thoughts on this part of the bracket?
Yeah, these 4 I'm not so familiar with. Natchitoches, I would lean with them just because, of the pedigree. They're in Lake Charles pretty much year in and year out. And Airline, I was kind of looking at the scores there and following that game a little bit. I might go with them over Covington too. I'll probably roll with Tatum. I don't know if Covington's had the toughest strength of schedule, kind of like North Shore. I felt like they hadn't really played a ton of good teams, but so I think that might kind of give Airline a little bit of an advantage.
All right, man. You heard it here first, man. Airline upset. Hey, they was on upset alert last round. Upset alert again. The 28 seed advances to the quarterfinals. Man, that'll be a hell of a run. Man, then we get down to the bottom half of the bracket, man. You got Dunham Springs again making a fantastic run at it this year. I talked about it last time, man. Probably the best run I can remember since Taz and Mitchell, man. As they're the 3 seed, they were 2-1 kind of throughout. They take on Westgate. A lot of people are talking about Dunham Springs could get upset this round, maybe the quarters. Do they have enough in the tank to get back to the Lake Charles? I don't know. Josh, man, I'm going to let you kick it off right here, man. What's your thoughts on this part of the bracket?
I mean, again, I would probably still lean on the higher seeds here. Dunham Springs has had a really strong season. Same with Ruston and, Amaya Hudson up there, big time prospect. Mostly for football, but I think he's probably got a chance at basketball too, just depending on what he wants to do. So I'm still leaning higher seeds here, but I haven't seen a ton of this bracket, this part of the bracket.
I think something to keep an eye on too. You got Dunham Springs. For those that don't know, the court buckled over there, so the girls have been playing in the airplane hangar. You look up here, Dunham Springs. They're going to travel to Walker to play. They're going to play this game at Walker, so it's almost like a neutral site there. Does that kind of throw out something maybe even more of an upset in a neutral site? Not like I mean, it's like right next to it, so it's not far. But just not playing at your home gym, maybe that has a little something to do with it. Tatum, man, you're real familiar with Ruston and everything, man. What's your thoughts there on the bottom half of that bracket, and as well as that Dunham Springs matchup?
So Ruston played on Friday night. I think at halftime the score was 33-8. So Ruston is about as tough a team as you're going to see. 1 through 6, they're really good. They have a really good point guard. I mean, Ruston is just good. I mean, I think last week I talked about Keyshawn Malcolm. He had a flu game. He had been sick all week, but came back and played and contributed. Ahmad Hudson, I think he had 20 and 15 in the first half. They didn't really play him much in the second half. Aiden Anding, I would say, is probably the best on-ball defender in the state that I've seen. They've got another kid, Joram Parker, that can get hot anytime he wants. And Zatarian Sutton is the point guard's name. He's waited his turn, and now he's the starting point guard. And he does a really good job managing the offense. And he's another one that'll sit down on defense. So if South LaForge has any kind of shaky play, Ruston's going to take big time advantage of it. And the Denham Springs Westgate matchup, I've watched a little bit of Denham Springs. I really like their point guard. Coming out of this bracket, I'm still going to go with Ruston. Denham Springs doesn't really have a whole lot of size. And if you don't have size, trying to control Ahmad Hudson is just going to be a job I don't think anybody's going to be able to get done.
Josh, I mean, have you? What's your thoughts? We got Denham Springs and Ruston both advancing. Tatum's got Ruston advancing over Denham Springs. What's your thoughts on that quarterfinal matchup? And that's got to, again, man, I hate that for Denham Springs now. I mean, I can't remember the last time they had a home quarterfinal game, and now they can't even have it in their own gym. They're going to have to play that game at Walker. Maybe they play that one in the airplane hangar. But Denham Springs, Ruston in the quarterfinals. Josh, who you got there?
Yeah, I would roll with Ruston there too. Just kind of more on the star power type of thing, with Ahmad and Aiden Andon, like he mentioned. I've seen Aiden for football, and him being one of the better on-ball defenders checks out since he was one of the better DBs I saw. So I'm with Tatum there. I roll with Ruston.
Again, guys, we're
one more
live on Facebook. Go
ahead. Something about Aiden Anding. He didn't play football his freshman or sophomore seasons. And I think he went out for football to try to get bigger for basketball after they had lost in the semis. So he's a kid that didn't play football freshman and senior year, goes out his junior season and earns a 4-star ranking. So there's something about that kid. He's just not a basketball player or a football player. He's like the ultimate competitor. So I don't think that he's going to let anything keep them from getting to the finals this year.
Love it, man. Again, guys, we're live on Facebook as well as YouTube. If you got anybody, man, tag them. Let them know we're live on Facebook. Somebody that doesn't have Facebook can comment right here. Just like official AD saying no upset for Denham Springs. So I guess official AD's got Denham Springs advancing to the back to Lake Charles. But you can follow us on Facebook as well as YouTube, man. Feel free to comment anything you got there. We'll get it moving, man. EA and Southside. Southside, a little bit of controversy. I don't know I don't know the full details on that. If either you guys got any details on that, man. I heard maybe the clock didn't start. A little bit of drama there. Southside ended up pulling that win away at the end. Southside, very tough team. They'll travel on the road to EA. Parkway, Central Baton Rouge basketball, man. It seems like it's just loaded, man. You got Zachary at the top, Central BR at the bottom. Josh, man, what's your thoughts here on this part of the bracket?
Yeah, again, haven't seen any of these teams here, but we'll get closer to my area soon. But Central, again, I've talked about that district before with Zachary and Scotlandville and Catholic. Like, I just think anybody coming through that district is going to be ultra prepared for anything that they see in the playoffs. I wouldn't expect them to be tripped up this early. East Ascension, same kind of deal. They're not in that district, but I'm sure they played a bunch of those teams in that area. And Southside had a tough time, in that first game. I didn't hear anything about the controversy. I hadn't seen that, so that's news to me.
Hey, anybody in the comments, if you know, if you've seen some video, man, tag us, man. We want to dive into that. We always trying to get the conversation started. But yeah, Southside defeated Terrebonne by 1. It was like a buzzer beater. Clock did not start. It was that in the Reeves game was absolutely crazy from what I saw. Both came down to a buzzer beater. But man, Tatum, what's your thoughts here, man? Got a lot of teams from Lafayette, BR area, but you got Parkway up there as well. What's your thoughts?
So I haven't seen East Ascension, but I saw Southside. Jada Norbert is probably one of the best players that I watched play basketball this year. I had never heard anything about the kid. Walked in the gym and he was just a bucket. He did everything on the offensive and defensive side of the ball. He's a special ball player. And I was talking to somebody in the crowd, and they said he grew like 4 or 5 inches over the summer. So you're talking about a kid that's 6'4", 6'3", maybe 6'4", that gets to his spots really easily, and he can really shoot from anywhere on the court. So because I haven't seen East Ascension, I'm going to go with Norbert to take Southside to the next round. And as far as Parkway and Central BR, I saw Central BR. Central BR, as a Ruston fan, Central BR is probably the team that scares me the most because of their size. They've got a 6'7" kid at the 5 and a 6'5" kid at the 4. And they really already look like college ball players. Parkway is tough, and they're spunky, but Parkway is small. I don't think they're going to be able to frustrate Central BR. I like BR's point guard or the 2-guard, Jace Conrad. I saw him get off in a few games when they came up here to West Monroe. So coming out of this bracket, I would have to lean on Central BR in hopes of seeing them against Ruston in the semis.
Would that be a interesting game right there, man? Central, BR, and Ruston. I mean, while we're talking about it, let's go ahead and put it on the spot, man. Who you got winning out of Ruston and Central BR, man? Let's get this conversation started.
I'm taking Ruston because Central BR. I'm about to get a little emotional, but Central BR put a whipping on Ruston in the state championship game for football. I don't think I'll ever forgive Central BR. So forgive me for the players from Central BR that I've scouted, but I'm taking Ruston on the revenge tour.
There you go. Hey, that's some insight, man. That's some insight a lot of people don't talk about, man. I love it, man. Look, before we jump into the next one, man, we're going to give a shout out to one of our sponsors, Sport Clip Haircuts for Men. They're giving away a free haircut. All you do is comment the word MVP, and you'll be entered into win a free haircut. I'm going to announce that winner from last time just after this commercial. If you haven't already, man, you can download their app. It's pretty easy. That way you can check in. Check it out.
You may not know where you stand with today's youth, but you always know where you stand with the Sport Clips app haircut tracker that tracks your real-time wait time. It's a game changer.
Yeah, guys, comment MVP for us. All you gotta do is type in the word MVP, and you'll be entered in to win a free haircut. I'm going to go through the list of who won last time. Kayla Wynn is who won last time. But since we did not have somebody from the previous one registered yet, the first person to comment the word MVP is going to win a free haircut from Sport Clip Haircut for Men. Really cool spot, man. You jump in there, get you a free haircut. You can watch some TV, watch some games, get the back massage, the towel, everything, get the shampoo, wash, you name it. I need to go get myself one myself. But look, man, comment MVP and give those guys a special shout out, man. But yeah, guys, we're going to get back into it, man. First person to comment MVP, shoot me a DM, and we'll get you a free haircut. Compliments of Sports Clips for Men. So we got somebody in there already. I'm going to have to pull it up. Let me see. There we go, man. We got the Liberty Invitational. Sharm, you're going to be the winner of tonight's or last time's MVP. So comment MVP. Just because she was first, guys, does not mean no one else can win. So all you gotta do is comment MVP, and you'll be entered. We'll give away 2. So next one will be random. So Sharp, shoot us a DM, and I'll get that free haircut to you. Everyone else, man, comment MVP, and we'll get you entered in there to win a free haircut. Yeah, man, let's get it started, bro. Josh, man, we talk about the Baton Rouge basketball a lot. I talked about last time, man. Holy Cross got a absolute terrible draw, in my opinion, man. They defeated Brother Martin. Now they got to go on the road, play at Jesuit on Mardi Gras Day. If they win that game, then they get Liberty in the quarterfinals. Man, what's your thoughts on this part of the bracket right here?
Yeah, like you said, Liberty is just, they're the favorite, maybe across all brackets if there was one big bracket. I don't think they'll have any trouble with Hammond in this first round. No shade to Hammond. Hammond did get a nice one on the road in the first round. But,
huge one, yep.
Yeah, I think Liberty will be too tough. And Holy Cross, this is the first game matchup that I was actually at. Holy Cross played this game without probably the second, third best player and probably their main ball handler, Javi and Nico. He actually came off the bench. There was the little altercation or whatever the case was in their last regular season game, and he came off the bench. And if you come off the bench, it's just an automatic one game. So they actually had to win this game without him, and they did pretty well. I think for next round against Jesuit, I have to figure out if Ethan Lopez is back for Jesuit. I meant to check in on that. But if he's not playing, I think Holy Cross will probably have a pretty good chance at winning that one. Jesuit just might be a little bit too light up front without Ethan. He's like a 6'6", 6'7" big. He can does a lot for them on both sides. So I think Holy Cross might actually catch a break there if he's not back yet with his injury.
And Tatum, have you seen Liberty? I don't think anyone in this part of the bracket can compete with them. But just dive in a little bit into Liberty and your thoughts on them in this part of the bracket.
So Liberty is the undisputed number one team in the state. What they did the last 2 weeks of the season, basically they beat the number 2, 3, 4, and 5 teams all in the course of all over the course of maybe 2 weeks. So with what Liberty has going on, if you can deal with the point guard, they're just the best team in the state. I don't think anybody can beat them. If they did a tournament, regardless of class, I would have to pick Liberty. Liberty has size, they have speed, they shoot the ball well. I actually think they have an advantage over anybody playing in the big gym or the stadium for the state championship because of the balance that they have. They don't rely on the three ball. I don't think anybody can beat them.
So, hey, I'm going to tell you like some of the coaches tell me, man. So, Coach Mister, if they get the win at Holy Cross, man, he just don't even show up to the quarterfinals, right? Just don't even show up, man. That's what they be texting me, man. But yeah, when we talk about Wossman on the girls' side, man, it seems like Liberty is the same thing here on the boys' side, man. They just on a whole nother level, man. And hey, Baton Rouge basketball is better because of it. I can promise you that, man. Whenever you're trying to catch somebody that's really good in your area, man, the whole area gets really, really good.
I just got to mention, just some of the teams they beat. They beat Shaw. Their only loss this year is Carroll by 3. They beat Shaw. They beat Catholic and They beat Peabody. They beat Crescent City. They beat Catholic. They beat Zachary, Central, Madison Prep, Scotlandville, and Woodlawn. So this is Anyway,
hold on. I see in the comment it says that Carroll beat Liberty.
Yeah, Carroll beat Liberty. That's what I was saying. That's their only loss.
So I was at that game. And
in-state loss.
Yeah, I was at that game, but Carroll probably has one of the best resumes as far as beating big-time teams. So Carroll losing to Liberty at Wossman is not a tough loss for Liberty. Yeah. But Carroll is going to be one of those teams that we could see there. But Liberty losing to Carroll, that was a great game. Jaden Williams hit a shot at the buzzer to win that game.
That's big, man. That's big. Hey. Like I said, man, I hope Hammond went to church. I hope Holy Cross and Jesuit went to church, man, because that might be the only chance, man. Come this week, according to you guys, man. I'm just saying, man. I'm just saying.
He's giving you the facts here. Like, what can we say?
I love it, man. Look, let's keep it moving, man. Again, we got Ash, man, probably one of the most athletic teams, man. I love what they've been doing, man. on football field, basketball court, man. It's a freaking fun environment just to watch basketball over there. That game's gonna be on. What is that? That game's gonna be played on tomorrow. But then you got St. Aug right there. Was able to move that game to the 4th. Again, that's Mardi Gras Day, man. Like, what? I don't know, Josh. I mean, you're been in New Orleans longer than I have, man. Like, playing that game on the 4th at 7:00, Mardi Gras Day. Like, is that difficult? Could you see an upset there? Like, what's your thoughts?
I don't even know if I would call this game an upset, even if Bonnabel wins. Like, this is going to be a battle. Bonnabel has the best player in this game, Jeremiah Lucas. The St. Aug is definitely going to be keyed in on him, trying to make sure he doesn't go for 25 or 30. If they can make sure he's not doing that, they'll probably have a pretty good chance of winning this one. I would say St. Aug's probably a little bit deeper. But because Bonnabel's also lost like 2 main players this year, really for off the court stuff. One of them was really early in the year. I don't know if he even ended up playing any regular season games, and then another one was pretty much midway through the year. So they're not thin necessarily, but they're a little bit younger now. But I'm kind of looking for Jeremiah to maybe try to put on the cape in this one. Like, this is going to be a big game for him on the road. That environment is going to be crazy. Like, that's probably going to be the one I go to.
I love it, man. So who you taking, man? We're putting it on the spot, man. Who you got, Bonnabel or St. Purple Knights or Kenner, bro?
It's tough. I think I'm still going to roll with St. Aug. I want to say these 2 teams played earlier this year, and St. Aug won that game at Bonnabel. I think I was at that game. So I will probably still lean St. Aug here still.
Love it, man. Tatum, man, you got Karen Crow, went on the road, won at Shreve. Now they're going to be playing at Ash. Can they go on the road two games in a row? What's your thoughts on the top half of this bracket?
I'm not going to pick anybody over Ash. I watched the game that they played against Ruston. They were down by 14 at the start of the 4th quarter. The kid Jordan Johnson can get hot. Tyshawn Duncan, everybody knows what he can do. But they've got another kid that I'll just call him the X factor for that team, Jarvell Bordelon. He's a 6'2" guard, really athletic. He does a lot of his work on the baseline. And a lot of the games that I've watched, it just seems like teams don't like to really defend on that baseline, and that's where he does all of his work. So I'm taking Ash on the top of that bracket, and I'm going to take Bonnabel at the bottom because of the Lucas
upset
kid.
Alert.
Yeah, I'm taking Bonnabel at the bottom of the bracket because of the Lucas kid. I think he's going to put on a show. We got him ranked number 4 in the state. And I just think he's going to put on a show and wheel those guys to a victory.
So that gets us to the quarterfinal matchup. We got Ash versus Bonnabel or St. Aug. Josh, you got Ash and St. Aug there. St. Aug going to take care of home court. Brand new gym there, man. Got the new court all rocking and rolling, man. They built that thing to hold quarterfinal games, not to be on the road. What's your thoughts on that quarterfinal matchup?
Yeah, they did a really nice job with that gym. And also St. Aug and Bonnabel did play earlier. It was 50-46 St. Aug, and that was at Bonnabel. And that game is on the channel somewhere, so you can just search that one. But, I would go in the quarterfinals. I'd probably go with Alexandria. Even on the road, I think Tyshawn Duncan would just kind of be a monster in that type of environment. Granted, I haven't gotten to see Ash yet. I think I might have watched a highlight or 2 of them, but that's that would be my pick in the quarterfinals. St. Aug has played really well in a lot of big games, but again, I just kind of lean towards Ash in that one.
I'm gonna drop the link to that in the chat, guys. So you guys can pull up that game that he was talking about. Tatum, man, what's your thoughts? So you got Bonnabel going on the road to Ash in the quarterfinals. You're talking about Lucas, man, put him on his back. Can he put him on his back to back games?
I'm taking Lucas. He's a big time player, and big time players show up in big time games. So I'm taking Bonnabel. If I got to pick an upset in this one, I'm taking Bonnabel for the upset.
Ooh-wee. We got upsets all over the place in this part of the bracket, man. It's gonna be some good basketball, man. March Madness, I guess, as the state likes to call it, man. Then we move it down to the next part of this bracket. You got St. Thomas More, man. Tioga was hot, man. We had Woodlawn on the crystal ball and upset alert, man. Tioga was hot. Can they had the crystal ball posted up in the locker room. Are they on upset watch again? Can they get past St. Thomas More? A much tougher task there going on the road. We got Huntington traveling down to Ponchatoula. Tatum, man, you get us kicked off on this part of the bracket, man. What's your thoughts?
I'm taking Huntington in this one. Peyton Parker and so Antonio Dixon is a 6'5" wing out of Shreveport, and I think after watching him play, he's making the case for being one of the best players in the city. I'd put him right behind possibly Carroll Dean at Bossier, but the way he's been playing recently, he's picked up a little bit more of the offensive load on the team. But between him and Peyton Parker, the sophomore phenom over there at Huntington, he's picking up offers from all over the place. He's a kid that's going to be tough to stop. He gets to his spots really well, and he's bringing back the mid-range shot. So I'm a fan of kids that can get to their spots in less than 3 dribbles and can pull up and shoot that mid-range with precision. So Huntington plays the game really fast. They move the ball around. They do have other players on that team that can go out there and hurt you, but Parker and Dixon are going to be the players to watch, and I think they really played a tough schedule. So I'm taking Huntington in this one.
Josh, man, what's your thoughts, man? Any argument there for Ponchatoula, or and both y'all's thoughts on that St. Thomas More matchup?
I'm looking at just kind of glancing over Ponchatoula's schedule. They got some pretty decent wins, but I think Tatum might have swayed me. I do know Caleb Seabury at Ponchatoula. I mentioned him on the last stream. He's a really good player. I guess, I can see if he goes crazy, maybe he gets a 30, 35, maybe something like that. Maybe Ponchatoula could pull it out. But I saw them preseason. They didn't really look overly big or maybe that deep, but again, it was early, so I'm sure they've kind of boasted up a little bit since then. But I'll roll with Tatum. I think he convinced me. I'll go Huntington.
What about that top part, man? Anybody got anything on? Is there any chance anyway Tioga can go on the road and win at St. Thomas More?
I personally don't see it. Again, St. Thomas More is just one of those teams that are just always in the mix year in year out to be in Lake Charles. So I would still lean towards them.
I don't know much about the teams at the top of the bracket. I was in the gym. There was a tournament or there was a referee scrimmage, and Tioga was playing on one court and Ouachita was playing on the other court. And that was my first time seeing Darren Ford. So I think all my attention was on Darren Ford watching that game.
So, at least it's the St. Thomas More and I guess Huntington in the quarterfinals. Again, quarterfinal game at St. Thomas More. Very, very difficult to win on the road at St. Thomas More in the quarters, man. Does Huntington have what it takes, man? Can you see an upset there? What's y'all's thoughts on that one?
I got to see how they play against Ponchatoula first. The thing about Huntington is young. So, I mean, they're pretty much led by a sophomore. And even though he's a special kid, I'm assuming that St. Thomas More probably has seniors, and I've seen their name around before, so I'm not going to jump up for them in the next round, but I am going to take them against Ponchatoula.
Josh, you going with Old Faithful, St. Thomas More, huh?
Yeah, I think so. But again, he made a very good case for Huntington. I don't know if St. Thomas More usually doesn't have a ton of like star power, so to say. They just like super well coached and they play like really hard. And they'll win a game like really anywhere they have to. Like I've seen them win games in the 70s. I've seen them win games in like the 30s. So they just kind of seem like a team that just figures it out. So I would I'll go Huntington again in the quarterfinals. Why not?
Oh, there you go. And speaking of that, man, St. Thomas More is 17-1 in their last 18 games heading into the playoffs, man. Not the toughest schedule for say this year, but just winning games that you're supposed to win, man. 17-1 is a hell of a record, no matter who you're playing. So get us down to the bottom part of the bracket. You got John Curtis, Rumble. Again, you talked about that John Curtis winning that district title. Big reason why they're kind of sitting in the spot they're at, but they're going to play again against a team that they've played before in Rummel. Josh, you also talked about McDonald 35, man, with Coach Dumas and what he's done over there. They went on the road. You called that one with the upset over Scotlandville. Can they compete with the Catholic of Baton Rouge? And what's your thoughts on the top half of the bracket?
No. They're not gonna be Catholic. I'm sorry. I love y'all, Coach. I love y'all. Y'all not. I don't think they're ready for that yet. Like I said, they still a young team, and they're gonna be back next year. They only will lose probably, I want to say, two seniors that are really big time contributors off of this team. So they're gonna be back. The Catholic is they're just a monster. Again, Coach Derek Jones, who I mentioned last time, who I used to play for at Everett, like one of the best coach I've ever had, probably in any sport. Him and Coach Watney at Holy Cross, but that's I don't think Catlet's gonna have a ton of trouble right there, especially at home. As far as the top matchup, that one's gonna get interesting because Rummel has beaten some teams this year. I can't remember if they beat Curtis, but they're just a sneaky team. They've got a kid. I wish I could remember his name, but he just went over 1,000 or 1,500 points, something like that. So they have a guy that can score, and Curtis, the Ultra Man, is that top guy. He's a 4-star kid on ESPN. He's had that ranking for a while. But Midnight Martin is another kid on that team, but he's still kind of coming back from an ACL tear over the summer. So he's usually coming off the bench for him, but he's one of those kids. I love him. He can play for me like any day, just super smart, really, really good on defense, plays hard, makes all the right plays. So I would probably still lean Curtis there, but I could see Rummel maybe giving him a scare for sure.
It's 7-point game last time they played, and again, man, that's Mardi Gras day, man. That's, as a coach, man, to bank on 14, 15, 16, 17, 18-year-old kids not going and partying on Monday and Tuesday at all these parades, man. I can't fathom that as a coach, man. Yeah. I played for 4 months of basketball, and then I'm playing on the same day as Mardi Gras day. That's a lot, man. You can really see these games going either way, man. Whoever's most locked in is going to have a huge advantage there. Tatum, man, what's your thoughts, man? These teams are from New Orleans, man. You want to defer to Josh, man? You got any insight on these guys?
Well, I've watched John Curtis. The Manning kid is special. And then far as Catholic BR looks like a JUCO. They're big. They're strong. You can tell them boys spend a lot of time in the gym. They shoot the ball well. They play really good fundamental basketball. They move it until they get the shot that they want. I don't see anybody beating Catholic BR, and I'll just go ahead and say I'm looking forward to seeing them against Liberty.
So Catholic BR advances pretty handily, right? And through the quarterfinals, right? They'll advance to Lake Charles, right?
Yeah, and with Catholic, they're actually missing the second best kid, who would have been Nico Jones, who's Coach Jones' son, but he tore his ACL again. I think this is it's at least the second time. It might be the third time, but super quality kid. Like, I just wanted to at least mention him real quick. He actually got in their last game, and I think he ended up
that's awesome.
Yeah. So that was good to see. I love seeing that from him. So
absolutely. Look, guys, before we jump down to the next one, man, we want to give a shout out to our sponsors again. Grind Elite Threads, man. Check them out. They're doing some big time things. They're gonna be sponsoring the player of the game. But, check them out. So again, guys, Grind Elite Threads, man. Big time shout out to them. They're going to be sponsoring player of the game for every game that we got out there in Lake Charles as well as in Hammond. We'll be highlighting the player of the game of each group. And they'll be brought to you by Grind Elite Threads. We'll be giving away a free t-shirt for everybody, man. So special shout out to our Sponsors with Sport Clips, haircuts for men as well. Grind Elite Threads. If you haven't already, man, click the share button. Share the stream. Help us continue to grow the platform. We're going to get it moving, man. We got Wossman. They're rocking and rolling on the girls' side, man. Rocking and rolling on the boys' side. I don't know what they're exactly feeding them in the cafeteria over there, but it needs to be released, man. They're holding on to it over there, man. They got them rolling on both sides, boys and girls. Wossman's the 1 seed here. Got Bastrop, same kind of area there. Tatum, man, you kick us off here, man. You got 2 teams from your area. What's your thoughts on this part of bracket here, Division 2?
So the basketball fan in me wants to see Wossman versus Bastrop. Quick backstory: Trey Mason won a championship last year with Wossman, and then he transferred to Bastrop. One of the best players from Carroll also transferred to Bastrop, and LeBron Deal. If we get the opportunity to see that game, that's going to be crazy for the area. But Trey Mason and LeBron Deal for Bastrop are going crazy right now. I checked their stats. One of them is going to go for 30. So if you stop Trey, then LeBron is going to have 30. They're just crazy right now. And then for Wossman, Wossman is a more balanced team. I think they have their point guard back in Davy Mays. Zion Weeks, I'd put him up there as probably either number 2 or number 3 point guards in the state. He's a wizard with the basketball. I haven't seen anybody stop him this season. The toughest game that I saw was when they played against Calvary Baptist. And it took Calvary Baptist a buzzer beater from Bubba to beat Wossman at a neutral location. And Wossman didn't have their starting point guard that game. So Wossman and Bastrop is the matchup that I want to see. But I don't want to look past Northwest because Northwest is a really tough team. I can't think of the name of the kid that's a 2027, but he's about 6'4", can do everything on the basketball court. They've got a really savvy point guard, and they've got a kid that looks like he plays football that hangs out up under the rim. So Bastrop is gonna have to get past Northwest. I'm going with Bastrop for the sentimental vote, but it's not going to be easy for them to get past Northwest.
Josh, you got any insight on any of those?
Not so much. I didn't realize LeBron had transferred because I saw him with Carroll during the summer. Yeah, with him and Trey, and I thought that was a pretty efficient combo. So I'll roll with Tatum just because I want to see that too. Because I remember Trey Mason from maybe a season or 2 ago. I remember him as like a freshman. He was like shooting 30-footers and making them in the semifinals. So I want a chance to see him again.
I love it, man. Hey, we're just trying to get the conversation started, man. We might be being a little messy, you know what I'm saying, what we're rooting for, but we're just trying to get the conversation started, man. Hey, then we get us down to that Carroll game. We talked about them. You talked about them a little bit, Tatum, how they got the ability to reach up and get somebody with some big win ability. You got Bruley, again, in the Baton Rouge area, playing some really good basketball. Tatum, man, what's your thoughts? Can Carroll come out of this part of the bracket, or what are you thinking?
I think Carroll can come out of the bracket. Carroll may have the best resume from North Louisiana. Like I said, I've seen them beat Ash, I've seen them beat Liberty, and I've seen them beat Peabody. So when you have those 3 wins on your resume, I don't think I'm going to take anybody over them. They've got a 3-headed monster over there, and Monica, Neil, and the kid they call J-Dub. All of those boys are seniors. Monica transferred over from Ouachita, and I think they're just going to be tough. I don't see anybody beating them.
Josh, man, what about Bruley? Have you had a chance to see them or compare their schedules to kind of some of the teams in that BR area? Are they in the mix with some of the elite teams? Or are they kind of in that second tier? What's your thoughts here?
Yeah, I think they're probably in that second tier. I'm kind of, like you mentioned, perusing their schedule here. They didn't really play a ton of the big teams out of Baton Rouge. So it looks like maybe a touch light on the strength of schedule. But and I haven't seen Lakeshore either. So I'll still kind of lean Bruley. Just off the Baton Rouge pedigree here. Carroll, I'm rooting for Carroll just so I can see Trey again. Hopefully in the semis or whenever it is. He's a big time player, so I'm rolling with Carroll.
So we got Carroll. Who they taking on? Who's at the top half of that bracket?
I was also going to say
Carroll versus Wossman, huh?
And that would be crazy because they played Wossman 4 times this year.
Yeah. And I think they played in the state championship last year too.
Did they? Okay.
I think they did.
Man, so we got a little bit of a rivalry brewing right there for sure, man. Guys, let us know in the comments, man. Comment y'all's thoughts. Definitely helps, especially as we get more and more towards these lower classifications, man. The more you guys can put in some feedback, the more it helps. We got some people commenting, talking about some players that are back and some different insight like that. Tag anybody that you know, man. Shout out to Coach Cheney, man. Coach Cheney from Independence, man, went on the road, got an upset. He's doing a fantastic job over there at Independence. We'll kind of get to them in a bit. But we got Opelousas, man, the Big O, man, getting it done. They got a home game. That place is going to be rocking, man. And then y'all talked about Bossier as well, man. That's going to be an interesting group of 4 right here. Anybody want to take us off here, man? Tatum, Josh, man, what's y'all's thoughts on this group? You always talk about Bossier, kind of getting it back to Lake Charles. They just kind of walk right through this one, or what y'all think?
Carroll and Wossman did play in the semifinals last year. Wossman won 61-52, but I'll kick this bracket to Tatum.
I haven't seen any of the other teams. I've been keeping up with Opelousas as far as their record. They do have one of the top players in the state for the class of 2026. But I'm going to go with Bossier. Bossier is tough. Bossier doesn't play to win games early in the season. They play to be prepared for the playoffs. They always seem to peak at the right time. They finished their last game of the season. They beat Calvary Baptist they beat Calvary at Calvary. So I don't think I've seen too many teams beat Calvary at Calvary over the past couple of years. So give me Bossier. Nothing bigger than the B. Carroll, Dean Woods, DT, the young shooter. I'm taking Bossier walking through this one.
Josh, you echoing that one, man? Same thing. So Bossier wins both games. Bossier advances back to the Lake Charles. That's what we're saying, huh?
Yeah, I'm going Bossier too.
That's gonna be a fun, man. To go at Opelousas, man. On a Friday night, man, I could use me some Mama's fried chicken. I ain't gonna lie. Some boudin in one hand, some Mama's fried chicken in the other, and some good basketball.
I'm already hungry. Don't make me leave the stream early.
Huh?
I'm already hungry. Don't make me leave the stream.
No doubt, man. No doubt, man. Look, let's keep it moving, man. We got Albany. Albany had a home playoff win, first one in quite some time, man. And so they'll advance. That was a big time win. They're going to take on Franklin Parish. You got Minden at the bottom. Josh, Tatum, have either of you guys seen these 4 teams? Can Albany compete with Franklin Parish? Who do y'all see coming out of this part of the bracket?
So I've watched Minden play. Minden has a really good team. The only thing I would question about Minden is their schedule. They have really good players. I'm just not sure if they're battle tested. And then as far as Franklin Parish, I think I said it last week, Franklin Parish is probably the biggest team that I've seen. The only time I've seen them struggle is when they played smaller teams that were really fast. So if anybody tries to play the same style of ball that Franklin Parish is playing, I'm taking Franklin Parish. And if they can get past Albany and end up seeing Minden, I actually think I'm going to take Franklin Parish in that matchup.
7 seed advances to Lake Charles, man. I like to see it. I definitely think that's a great draw, man. Josh, what's your thoughts, man? This bracket seems a little bit lighter. Seems like it's kind of wide open. Could you even see a 10 seed, double-digit seed make it to the quarterfinals? Is Minden still the favorite? We're not giving them enough credit. Josh, what's your thoughts?
I want to say Bochan has a kid that can really, really play. I think I saw him at one of Maul's events in the Hoop Fest, one of the Hoop Fest tournaments.
Yep.
And then Albany, I just wanted to shout out Albany real quick. I actually used to work out in Hammond, so I'm kind of familiar with that area. Probably the last time they had sort of a playoff run might have been with Sean Sykes. If anybody out that way remembers that name, he was super fun to watch. Yep. But I think it'll probably be tough at this point. Franklin Parish, like you mentioned, like Tatum mentioned, is a really big team. Bochan, I think Bochan might have a shot if Minden hasn't been tested. Kind of like how Tatum mentioned. But I think it's kind of hard to go with the 15 there, so I'll probably still lean Menden and then Franklin Parish.
I love it, guys. Y'all let us know in the comments, man, what's y'all's thoughts as well, man. So it looks like Franklin Parish, they're going to have a little bit of a leg up here. They'll be on upset alert. They'll advance 7th seed in Lake Charles, man. That's, again, we don't see very many double-digit seeds. To see a higher seeds is definitely going to be fun to keep an eye on. We'll kind of keep it moving, man. You got one of the best teams in the state up next in the next division. And Shaw, and then you got JFK with a big win earlier. They're taking on the road at David Thibodaux. David Thibodaux beat St. Thomas More. Well, that was the one loss that St. Thomas More had in that little stretch. Josh, I mean, what's your thoughts, man? Shaw, we know they're the real deal, man. Tell us about it, man. What you thinking?
Yeah, I don't see too many hiccups here for Shaw, at least not yet. Again, they're 5-6 deep, really high quality on the 6. Tristan Akeem, Kobe Butler is a Jackson State commit, like I mentioned last week. Basically the Twin Towers down there, both of them 6'6", 6'7". Tristan, super skilled kid. He's gonna be a Division I player for sure. And then they've got a good group of guards. Alan Shaw, Christian Clare is a freshman, probably going to be top 10, top 5-ish in the state. Khalil Awagbar out there is another guard. So they're going to be a tough out for anybody. Kennedy, I saw actually looked like they had a little bit of trouble against Booker T, which again, like I mentioned last week, Booker T is really young, so you kind of never really sure what you're going to get from him. And looks like they gave Kennedy a run, but like I thought Kennedy got past them. Thibodaux is going to be a tough one on the road. Coach Bird and Antoine will definitely have him ready. But maybe Joe Bernardez, again, I mentioned him last week, if he can just kind of will him to a win. Like Kennedy's a super, super tough team. Like they play really hard. Again, they got a bunch of kids that I would just love to coach, love to just kind of have on my side. But I think that's probably going to be a tall task out there at Thibodaux.
Tatum, man, looks like we got some discussion in the comments, man. They need you to clarify that it looks like Carroll is having a better resume than Wossman. Are we going on record with saying that Carroll's got a better resume than Wossman?
I'm going on record saying Carroll has they have a better win resume than Wossman. Because like I said, if you take down Ash, Peabody, and Liberty, I don't think there's another team up here that has done that. But look, Wossman doesn't have a bad resume. The only thing that Wossman is missing is Ash, and Wossman has Carroll on their resume. So
3 times.
3 times.
That's crazy. Playing somebody 4 times in the season.
Yeah. So, but if I'm going wins, that Ash win was big. So yeah, I'm sticking with that. Carroll has probably the best resume in the North.
Hey, we're just trying to get the conversation started, man. We're just trying to get this conversation started. Hey, you guys can comment and be a part of the conversation. Again, we're live on Facebook. You see this comment right here. We're also live on YouTube. So if you don't have Facebook, you can tune in to us on YouTube and comment as well, man. The more comments you guys have, the better, especially as we get down to these lower classifications. Guys can kind of help us out. Let us know who to kind of keep an eye on as well. Tatum, man, you kind of echo what Josh says here, man. Shaw's just the real deal, Holyfield, man. They're going to come out of this group.
Yeah.
Love it, man. Let's keep it moving. We'll get on to the next part of the bracket, man. You got Madison Prep. I see the guys' size just like the girls. We're lacking in putting the game times up there and when and where we're playing, man. So Madison Prep's going to play against Landry at a to-be-determined time. U-High goes on the road to take on Lake Charles College Prep, man. I saw Lake Charles College Prep. We talked about it last time. They had 2 big wins. They beat Madison Prep and they beat Wossman on back-to-back days. They can get hot, and they got some size. They got some guards that can put the ball in the hole. This is an interesting one, man. Tatum, man, we'll let you kick it off, man. What's your thoughts? You see the 4 and the 5 advancing, and if so, who's going to come out of that quarterfinal matchup?
The only team that I've seen from this bracket is Madison Prep, and I really just started watching Madison Prep because of the young guys that they have. So I've watched their games. I watched the tough game that they played against Catholic, where they lost at the end of the game. But I mean, based off what I've seen, I don't know the other team, so I'm just going to go with what I know, and I'm going to take Madison Prep.
Josh, man, same kind of question, man. I mean, you talk about guards with Landry. You talked about it. They always got guards. Hey, I like to say, man, guards win games. Is there a chance that Landry could sneak up on Prep, catch them here in the second round? Or do you see Prep and Prep playing in the quarters? And if so, who do you see winning that one?
Yeah, that Madison Prep Landry game is really interesting. Because I think Madison Prep is kind of young right now still. Elijah Garner and Will Nelson, like they're sophomores and freshmen, and they're probably their best two guys. But they do have a couple seniors around that kind of give them, a little bit of veteran presence. But Landry, Daryl Adams, I'm positive like he's gonna show up. Whether or not he goes for like 20 or 25, he's a point guard and he kind of makes, gets everybody involved. But he's going to get to the free throw line. He's probably going to shoot like 8-9 free throws. He's going to create for everybody. The real X factor is going to be Darius Kiefer, who's a freshman, and he's the second guy for sure. And, just kind of going on the road. I know that environment at Madison Prep is going to be outrageous. So it's just if he can hit some shots and see the ball go in early, I think that's going to be a big deal, and that might give him a chance. And I do kind of have a soft spot for Landry. Coach Rod, one of my favorite guys doing it, but it's just tough to pick him going on the road against Madison Prep in that environment and that tradition. So I would still stay with Madison Prep there. Real quick on U-High, I know Ethan Kimmy. I'm sure he probably came from football late. So I would think they might be a little bit underseeded, and I don't know. I think that might could get interesting with the Lake Charles game.
Interesting, man. And I mean, again, you got Lake Charles College Prep. They've already beat Madison Prep, man. I guess it's tough to beat a team twice. That'll be a home game. You got the new kid on the block, I guess you can say, in Lake Charles College Prep trying to come out of this group. With the other teams in this group, being and making it to several top 28s and Lake Charles a lot of years, man. It's interesting that now we can kind of say Lake Charles is like being the 4 seeds, kind of the underdog in this group. We're kind of putting them on upset alert in both the first round and the second round. Second round and the quarterfinals. So something to keep an eye on for sure. But guys, let us know in the comments, man. What's y'all's thoughts? Who do y'all see coming out of that bracket? We're gonna keep it moving, man. We got Peabody, man. We know what Peabody does. It's another year, man. Second round and a quarterfinal home game on the line. Can Sophie be right? Go on the road again. That's tomorrow. Is that game tomorrow? Yeah, both these games are actually tomorrow. Being played on Monday, man. Josh, what's your thoughts, man? Can Wright compete with McKinley? Again, I don't know how locked in you are on Mardi Gras break and all that, going on the road, and I don't know, man. What's your thoughts?
I think as far as that, they'll be all right because they've got their two best guys are seniors, and with Ja'Cory Washington and Hiram Bluin, and I trust those guys to be locked in. I don't think that's going to be too much of an issue, but going on the road, I was kind of trying to check out McKinley's schedule a little bit. They've got a close one with Madison Prep, so I don't know. I could see it. Ja'Cory Washington is tough. I'm telling you, like he really can go. Hiram Bluin, same thing with him. But I would definitely give Wright a shot in that game. I don't think McKinley's schedule looks overly impressive, but they do have some good wins on here. And as far as Peabody, that's just again a team that's there year in and year out. So I would go with them probably in this section of the bracket.
Tatum, man, you want to add anything to that?
The only team I've seen is Peabody. And even though they've come up here and lost, a lot of teams don't like to come up here and play in Monroe. Around here, we say Monroe is not a real place. So if you can come up here and you can win, you've done a whole lot. And if you can come up here and lose, it's going to make you a better team on the way out. So Peabody came up here. They lost to Wossman, and they came up here and lost to Carroll. But they kept on coming back. So I'm taking Peabody because they got to be battle tested coming up here playing. They let our players touch a little bit up here.
Hey, y'all want to talk about that a little bit too, man. Those that don't know, the referees travel as well during the playoffs. So referees cannot referee it would be an association from either team. So, for example, Sophie B.
That
Wright
would
and
not stop
McKinley.
fans from saying they're cheating.
That's a Baton Rouge and a New Orleans association. That'll likely be a Lafayette crew that'll be coming down there. So it'll be interesting, man. Just like the teams travel, man. That Monroe physicality of officiating will definitely be traveling on the road, man. So something to keep an eye on, something that you don't always think about. Different styles of basketball being played across the state, man. But look, that gets us down to the bottom half of the bracket. You got Hannon, Archbishop Hannon, Archbishop Shaw. Seems like they're on a collision course to meet each other in the state championship. Can anybody stop that from happening? We've said Shaw's going to cruise through. What's your thoughts here on the bottom half of this bracket, Josh? Can anybody compete or stop Mr. Drew himself?
Yeah, Drew Timmons, again, we mentioned him last week. I don't see them having any issues this early. I've got them pretty, I don't know if I want to say easy, but I don't think they have too much trouble. The top half, I haven't seen Northside or Vanderbilt, but I do know Jordan Matthews from Vanderbilt. I've seen him a few times just in different settings. So I know he can be a problem, but I don't know if they have a ton outside of them, so I would probably still stick with Northside and then Hannon in this part of the bracket for sure.
Tatum, man, what's your thoughts, man?
I've only seen Vanderbilt Catholic, and the standout player was the same kid that Josh just mentioned. The other teams, I don't really know.
So I mean, St. Michael again, guys. Let us know in the comments if you guys got anything to add. Great comment here, man. Ponchatoula is on an 11-game win streak, and Corey Jackson, man, getting it done over there. Been rocking and rolling. Definitely, I mean, carrying some momentum into these playoffs definitely has a big part of it. And, Vanderbilt Catholic, they got a win in the first round, 20-point win over Carver. So they're going to travel to Northside. Again, Northside hasn't played a game in about 10 days here. So that's something to keep an eye on. You could see Vanderbilt Catholic with a little bit of an upset alert there. But, I mean, Hannon's just – Drew's not going to go out, especially at home.
Yeah.
We're gonna see them back in Lake Charles, man. I would be shocked if we don't. Again, guys, comment anything in the comments. So we're live on Facebook as well as YouTube, especially as we get a little bit lower in these classifications, man. The more comments you guys have, the better it'll be. Kind of moving on out from here, man. You got Doyle, went on the road, got a win there. 1-point win. They're going to play Madison. You guys are ranting and raving about Madison. Now that we see it, St. Helena, we had some comments as well. People talked about that. St. Helena's a big group. They had a big 20-point win. Winfield had an even bigger win, as they won by 25. What do you guys see kind of breaking down in this part of the bracket? Can anybody compete with Madison?
So I'm taking Madison at the top of the bracket. They got a kid, Amarian White. They call him Butter. Butter can do anything on the basketball court. He's a 6'4" kid. He's just started picking up offers. He can shoot the three, get to the mid-range, finish at the rim. He's comfortable facilitating. They've got a really good point guard. I'm not really sure what his name is. And all the other guys that fill in the other pieces are really strong and athletic. They're a very well-balanced team, but Butter is the one that makes everything go. And I got the opportunity to see Winfield. Winfield is a small town, and all they do over there is play basketball. So actually a 9 versus an 8, I think I'm taking Winfield in that matchup. They played against Ruston, and they played Ruston really tough. So give me Winfield in that second one.
Have either of y'all ever been to St. Helena before, the gym over there?
I have. They're again another team. When I was in Hammond, St. Helena was in our coverage area. So I have covered them, before in the past. They're not really a basketball school. When I was there, they had Osiris Torrance for football, who's in the NFL now. They had a really, really good football team at the time.
Yeah, absolutely.
But
it's like when you're going out there to St. Helena, man, you just keep going and going and going and going and
like them in Kentwood.
So Tatum, you're gonna have to make sure to tell Winfield, man, make sure they fill the gas tank up, man, because whenever you traveling to St. Helena, man, that is a journey, dude, and it's a different gym, it's a different environment. You're like sitting down on the inside, the fans are above you. St. Helena's
cool.
a tough place to play at, man.
Yeah.
Well,
Josh, what's your thoughts, man?
Winfield is one of those tough teams. If St. Helena is not used to being touched and bumped and pushed around and all of that stuff, they could struggle with Winfield. Winfield is one of those tough teams. It's a really small town on one of those back roads headed to Alexandria, and you could just be riding it. As soon as you get past the Burger King, there's the school. And if you go knock on that gym, they in there hooping. So give me Winfield.
I love it. Josh, man, what's your thoughts on the top half of the bracket?
I haven't seen either of those two teams. Madison, I roll with them just off being the 1 seed, and just the strength, the season that they've had. And again, just because St. Helena is not really a basketball school, and if they're living and breathing basketball down there at Winfield, then I'll go ahead and roll with Winfield and Madison. And then
I like it, man. You heard it here first, man. Upset alerts all over the place, man. Let us know in the comments, guys. Let us know. Again, appreciate everybody for tuning in. Northside beat Vandy by 3 at the same time. It's more tournament, but Vandy didn't have their best all-around players. Comments like that, man, that go a long ways. When we're just kind of tapping in or looking at the schedule, having a little insight like that definitely helps, especially, like I said, as we get down to the lower classification teams. We had talked about this part of the bracket last time. It's kind of in like that little in-between area where we didn't really see a lot of these teams. Donaldsonville's having a great year, man. Richwood as well. Can Church Point or Ville Platte play spoiler here, Tatum, man? What's your thoughts?
No. Richwood is probably right there with Franklin Parish as being one of the biggest teams that I've seen. They're one of the only teams in the state that has a 6'10" kid in Carter Mason. Standing right next to him is Lavelle Lane. Trey Lane, he's a 6'7" slasher. He can shoot the 3-ball, shoot the mid-range, and he can get to the rim. He missed a good part of the season with a broken wrist. So I really feel like if Richwood did not miss having him, they could probably be the 1 seed. So Richwood is probably the most dangerous team in this whole division outside of Madison.
Richwood and Madison on the collision course. What he's saying, man, in Lake Charles, man. Guys, y'all let us know in the comments, man. What y'all think? Richwood or Madison? Let us know who y'all think can come out of that one. Josh, we talked about it a little. Go ahead.
Let me throw this in also. They've got another kid over there, Trayvon Varner. So when the Lane kid went out, Trayvon Varner is the one that he kept the ship going. He really stepped up offensively and looked like he was the leader on that team also. So Trayvon Varner, Lavelle Lane, and Carter Mason are the guys on that team, and they've really got some really good guards over there that can shoot the ball. I don't know their names, but Richwood is just tough. 1 to 5, 1 to 6, and they were considered to be the best team in Monroe until Lane got hurt.
Man, they letting us know in the comments that we're sleeping on Church Point. Church Point with a 20-point win over Oak Grove. We're going to have to go on the road to Donaldsonville. Josh, I know you said you hadn't seen Donaldsonville. But Church Point's a tough area as well. Yeah. You got any insight on any of these teams, man, or are we rolling with Richwood to get it done on the side?
Yeah, I think I'll roll with Richwood, but I was, just kind of looking over Donaldsonville's schedule, and I don't know, I don't know. Like, they got some big losses in here. I mean, Madison Prep, they lost to De La Salle too, who again is a team I like, but they're pretty young. Central beat them by a lot. They lost to Dunham. It looks like that game wasn't really close. So I don't know.
We ride with the CP. He said, Josh and Josh getting it done, man. CP on upset alert.
Yeah, you know what, Josh Moreau, you know what you're talking about. Church Point it is.
Church Point it is, man. Church Point it is, man. I love it, man. Guys, again, man, appreciate all the comments, especially as we get down to the smaller classifications, man. We really appreciate all the insight. Union Parish, man. I think Tatum, you had called this one as well. They went in double overtime at Mamou. Big time game there, man. We had a lot of people talking about that Avoyles and Oakdale game. Avoyles was able to hold on by 2. And Kinder, man, 27 seed goes on the road. breaks the heart of French Settlement. So this part of the bracket is full with upsets. Do the upsets continue into the quarterfinals, or does Marksville kind of walk through the rest of the way? Tatum, man, what's your thoughts, man? Union Parish getting it done again?
I'm not going to jump up and down and say they're going to get it done, but Union's kid is Chase Meeking. He's a football player and a basketball player. I've watched him play a few times this year. The kid is tough. But I saw Marksville also. I didn't remember a lot about Marksville, but I went and checked the scorers book. Marksville shoots the ball really well. I saw them early in the year. When I go to games, I kind of pick who's going to win based on warm-ups. They look great in warm-ups. And the first game that they played, they shot the ball really well. But they were also at Wossman. And like they say, Wossman is not a real place. Monroe is not a real place. So they won their first game and lost the next two.
They letting us know in the comments, man. Kinder is not a 27 seed. Josh, man, what's your thoughts, man? Is there any chance we can see a 19, 27? We're definitely going to see a double-digit seed no matter what in the quarterfinals. It's kind of like a little bit of March Madness here, man. You rooting for the underdogs, or are you seeing Marksville roll through this?
Yeah, this group I really don't have too much insight on. I guess I'll stick with Marksville here, just off the higher seed, and let's have some fun and say Kinder. Kinder's not a 27 seed. That's what they tell me in the comments. So
that's what they tell him in the comments, man. He's going with the 27 seed. Shocks the world, man. I mean, Avoyelles got it done over Oakdale, and I mean, both those games were decided by 2 and 1 points, man. It's gonna be interesting, man. If that's another close one. So let's keep it moving, guys. We got a lot of people on 04 or rooting for Red River, man. Rayville has been a tough team, but are they on the level as Red River? I'm not sure. And then we got the 7 and the 10 at the top half of the bracket. Tatum, man, I think you talked about Red River a little bit last time, man. They had to buy. Now they get to let the beast go, man. They get to play, man. What's your thoughts on this part of the bracket?
So Rayville is a tough team. They play better the second half of the season. In their last game of the season, they went to Neville and beat Neville. So don't sleep on Rayville. I wish they didn't have to play Red River, but they do. Red River is the truth, and I don't see anybody beating them.
Josh, I think is this where we defer to Tatum here? Or
yeah, this would be a deferment for me. I'm a little surprised to see Rayville so far down. I don't know what they typically a pretty good basketball school, but I don't know, maybe down here, maybe they started slow, whatever the case. But yeah, I'll pick it back off of Tatum and go Red River.
And I mean, so let's look even a little further, man. You got Red River versus what would look like Marksville in the semis, man.
Or Kinder.
Or Kinder, man. We're keeping it alive. Does Red River, in your opinion, have what it takes to win a state title? Are they the favorite? Or what are y'all's thoughts?
I wouldn't call them the favorite if they got to play Madison.
So Madison's still the favorite. I know we had talked about Richwood a little bit.
Yeah. Oh, you know what? Well, now you threw that back in there. If I had to pick one, I really, really like Madison. I also like Red River, but I don't think anybody's going to be able to deal with a 6'10" center, a 6'7" Trayvon Varner shooting from wherever he wants to, and Richwood has really smart guard play, and both of their guards can shoot the ball. But give me Richwood.
Where y'all getting all these big people from? We got like 3, 6, 7 people in this city.
Too much Mardi Gras, man. It's New Orleans Sewage and Water Board. It's the water, man. It's the water.
Man, it must be, man.
Hey, Josh, they letting you know, man, and my man Charles in the comments, man, letting you know, Kinder's going home this round, man. Kinder's going home.
Kinder's gonna see you.
Hey, Crystal Ball might just throw it up there, just for a little chaos, man, a little bit of chaos. Yeah. But man, that Division III non-select that we just went through, man. That's a lot of fun, man. That is a lot of fun. Now we're getting down to Division III select, the Calvary Baptist Invitational, as we like to call it, man. Tatum, man, just talk a little bit about what's going on over there, man. What's my man Vic got going on in the water over there, man?
T.J. Jameson, Jaden Hall, Bubba Strong, Robert Wright, Jamarian. I can't think of the big man's name. They got another kid over there, Craig Davis. I mean, 1 through 7, Mason Ponder. I mean, 1 through 7, 1 through 8. Calvary is a top 10 team in the state. I don't see anybody beating them. There's no one way to beat them. There's no one player that you have to stop. Tyrone Jameson is a Swiss Army knife. If he's not scoring the ball, then he's facilitating. If he's not facilitating, then he's directing traffic. He's a dog on defense, and you can say that about every other player that is in that starting lineup for Coach Vic. Coach Vic got something special. I will bet on them to win it this year. I will bet on them to win it next year and the year after. They ain't gonna get no worse.
You heard it here first, guys. Dunham, whoever else, Newman, y'all just stay home, man. There ain't no point in even traveling to Lake Charles unless you're going to compete for the second place trophy, man. Calvary Baptist all the way. Josh, man, you're echoing that thoughts on that side, man. You got a good little matchup there. You got Lafayette Renaissance Charter. They just super young. St. Louis is trying to rebuild. It's Calvary all the way, man. What's your thoughts? You going to add anything more on Calvary?
Yeah, I don't have too much. I pick everything Tatum said is stamped Calvary. Yeah.
And we got another fan on Kinder, man. Another Kinder fan, man. Kinder will shock the state.
Kinder will shock the state.
I'm gonna have to do some research on Kinder.
Yes, sir. You already know, man. I know that upset win at French Settlement was wild. But man, that gets us down to the next part, man. You got Rosepine, LCA, Pope John Paul, Newman. Newman is not the Newman that we have seen in the past, but they still got some talent. Josh talked about him a little bit, man. Josh, you want to talk about that? You know, see if Superman can put the cape on and get out of this part of the bracket. What's your thoughts?
Yeah, it's gonna have to be the R.J. Livingston show. You know, excuse me, talked about him last time on stream. He's Randy Livingston's son, who's all time probably maybe the best guy to ever come out of Louisiana. As a player, just injuries ended up stopping him, but he still got to the NBA. RJ, his son, is a 4-star, is a point guard. It's probably like 6'2"-ish. He can shoot it, get to the rim, either hand. Like I've seen him for years now. I've seen him on UIBL. I've seen him get 30 against some of the best players. I've seen him go like toe-to-toe with 5 stars. Darius Acuff, a couple kids that went to Michigan State. That gym was packed. That's the game that I'm thinking about. But he's going to have to score 25. If you can stop him from getting to that number, then you'll have a good chance of beating Newman. But I kind of think they'll still be okay here in this round. They actually have some pretty good wins, despite, I think RJ being, the guy on the team. But I would still go with Newman here. And Lafayette Christian is kind of interesting because they're normally a really good basketball school. But that I would kind of be on the lookout for them too.
Tatum, you had any insight on that as well? You got a lot of people in the comments saying Rosepine's definitely coming out of this one. Point guard Cody is definitely is a top 10 point guard for sure. Have either of you guys seen the point guard for Rosepine?
I've watched some videos of the Calhoun kid. So I'd really like to see Cody and the kid from Newman go at it. So I'm going to stick with Rosepine. Look, Rosepine could be dangerous, and the majority of the reason is because of Cody. He's a smooth guard. He can really shoot from anywhere on the court. Even though he can score the ball really well, he's really good at facilitating also. So I'd like to see Calhoun and the kid from Newman go head to head.
A lot of people commenting about Hayden Brister, man. Again, guys, as we get down to the lower classifications, man, we really appreciate comments like this, man. They definitely help out, especially, we're coming down to this is second round and the quarterfinals. Hopefully we'll be back live again, breaking down the state championship game. So comments like this definitely help a lot. Kinder, man. People in the comments, man, they still talking about Kinder, man. Still talking about
Kinder. We locked in.
Rose Pine looks like they got a lot of people talking to them up as well. They may be able to have what it takes to upset Newman in the quarterfinals.
Yeah, I could see that based on these comments.
Again, man, talking about we gave a shout out earlier, man. Willie Cheney doing a great job. First year head coach, long time assistant coach. Been a big time part of basketball at Springfield. It was part of the Zachary group there. Went on to Independence, got a road win. Now he'll travel to play at Country Day. Much taller task there. Got Catholic New Iberia on the bottom side. Josh, what's your thoughts here, man? Have you had a chance to see Country Day? Will they be the favorite to come out of this part of the bracket, or what's your thoughts?
Yeah, I've seen a bunch of Country Day. Like I mentioned last time, they got a bunch of the Saints, Pelicans kids over there. Curtis McAllister, Deuce McAllister's son, he's a freshman. He's going to be pretty good. Kellen Brewer is Corey Brewer's son, who's a former NBA and current Pels assistant. KB is the guy on that team. Or him and Herman Dyson. Herm is who I mentioned last time. Like, he really does some of everything. Like, he's like the glue of the team, kind of a Draymond Greenish type of player. Like, he's a big, but he can get up on the glass and he can start the break. Really good passer, and they have a few shooters that he kind of likes to spread to. So I think Country Day will be fine in that game for sure. And then Reed down here, a team I really like. I only got to see him once, but I liked a couple of their guards, and they've got a freshman Edna Aranda that I think has a chance to be pretty good. But Catholic and I haven't seen him, but I've heard a good bit about him. And I know about one of their guys, Job Trosclair, who's a legit 6'9", 6'10" kid.
He's huge.
Yeah, I don't think Reed's gonna be able to get past them in that matchup.
Who are you thinking in the quarters, man? I'm looking at that Catholic New Iberia's schedule. They lost to Liberty by 3. That's a pretty good feather in the cap. A really good loss. They're really challenging themselves with a lot of big time teams. You got Catholic, Baton Rouge, Newman, Liberty. Not coming out on the winning side of several of these, but they have challenged them. Do you think they've got enough to beat Country Day? I mean, seeing Country Day a bunch compared to that schedule, even though not seeing Catholic New Iberia. What's your thoughts?
Yeah, I mean, I would think they definitely got a chance. That'll probably be a really good game. Newman beat Catholic and Country Day just waxed Newman, honestly, a couple of days ago. They won by like 20 for the district championship. But that's kind of one of those games. I think they could if they played 10 times, it would be a lot closer. But Country Day is a little bit up and down. Like, I've seen like Reed beat Country Day in the last game of the season, I want to say, or really close to the end of the season. So they can be beat, and I think that'll honestly be a really good game. And I might lean Catholic just kind of from what I've heard about them.
Hey, according to the comments, man, Rosepine on a 25-game win streak. They calling Calvary out now, man. They want to play tomorrow, man. They want to play tomorrow, man. Be careful what you ask for, man. That's all I'm gonna say, man.
Hey, at Reston, we wanted it, man. They put a 15 piece on us at the house.
I love it, man. Look, Tatum, man, you got anything you want to add on this part of the bracket, man?
I don't know any of these teams, boss.
That's all right, man. We're gonna keep it moving, man. Again, guys, comment anything, man. Let us know. Keep us updated, especially as we get to the smaller classifications. The more comments, the better. De La Salle, home game, man. Again, Mardi Gras Day at 5 o'clock. That's tomorrow at 5 o'clock. There's no parades going on tomorrow at 5 o'clock? That's going to be tough, I would imagine, huh?
Man, I was going to go to Orpheus. Now I might have to go to that.
Now we got Geo next, man. New up-and-coming program. Can they knock off the next – I mean, the big brother and Dunham? I'm not sure. Josh, man, what's your thoughts, man? You got Thomas, Jeff, De La Salle, and Dunham on the bottom side. Who you see coming out?
Yeah, I've seen 2 of the 4 here. I don't think Dunham's going to have any trouble in that bottom matchup. Elijah Haven, 5-star quarterback. He's a sophomore, but he's big. Like, he's like 6'5", probably like 220 already. He's a force down there, and they've even got guys around him. AJ Olivier is a really good point guard for them, and they're pretty deep. So I don't think they'll have too much trouble in that round. And then I haven't seen Thomas Jefferson, but De La Salle's a team I'm pretty familiar with. They got 3 young guys that are really good. Levon Gibson is a junior. He's probably the best of the bunch. He's like a 6'4", 6'5" kid. He can play above the rim. He can really get hot from 3. Like I think he's had a few games this year where he's hit like 5 threes. Same thing with Chase Barker, who's a freshman, but he can really go. Chase is a sophomore. Chase Barker's a sophomore, and Manny Young is a sophomore, and they're 2 really good guards. Gibson is a little bit more of a wing, but I don't think De La Salle will have too much trouble in that game either. And I would probably lean Dunham in the quarters.
Dunham in the course. Yeah. Man, Tatum, before you add anything here, man, we got a question in the chat, man. They're saying, what about Ville Platte, man? We ain't talking about Ville Platte. And I don't think you realize Ville Platte's playing Richwood. So we was hot on Richwood, man. Let Ashton know, man, what's going to happen in that game,
man. I'll stir the pot a little bit. They got something for sale. They sell it over there at Super One. It's over in the kids' aisle. It's called baby food. Ain't nobody beating Richwood.
There you go, man. I love it, man. I love it, dude. And that's all it's all about, man. We're just trying to get the conversation started, man. And Ville Platte's had a hell of a run, man. Big time win at home last round, but unfortunately they run into a red hot Richwood in the next round, man. That's why we kind of kept it moving on Ville Platte. Ain't no disrespect, but here we go with this part of the bracket. Tatum, you got anything you want to add here, man? Or is Dunham just going to be one of those teams that, like Josh says, rolls through here?
I don't think Dunham's going to have any problems. I'm looking forward to seeing them play against Calvary. Yeah, I'm looking forward to see them play Calvary.
I will say I think De La Salle has a shot against Dunham. Like again, I really like those 3. And I could see him giving Dunham a run in that game.
I like it, man. Hey, they letting you know, man. Ville Platte's red hot, man. They you got them fired up, man. You got them fired up, man. You got them fired up, man. Look, now we're getting into the next part of bracket. Again, guys, appreciate all the comments, man. Continue to comment, man. Help us continue to grow the platform, but help us kind of get a little educated as well, especially as we get closer and lower in these classifications. Getting into the next part of the bracket, got Division 4 non-select. White Castle with a big win at home. Again, beautiful new gym over there, man. That is much needed for them, man. They're rocking and rolling. Can they upset West St. Mary's and advance to the quarters? Venting too much, man. Tatum, Josh, have y'all seen any of these teams, man? What's y'all's thoughts?
I haven't seen any of these schools.
Yeah, same here. I haven't seen any of these guys.
You got them fired up now, man. You got them fired up in the comments, man. Ville Platte. Hey,
we got something down.
They different over there, man. Ville Platte's cut different, man. Hey, that's a fun place to play at. It's a fun. They take basketball super serious over there, man. So we appreciate you tuning in, man. We're just gonna keep it moving, I guess. I think Benton's definitely, obviously, the favorite here. But if White Castle's anything like White Castle's been in the past, definitely a team to keep an eye on, man. They as well. They're another group, man. They're gonna shut the gas station down. They're gonna shut the one red light down. They all gonna show up to the game. We got Arcadia here, man. Lake Arthur had a big win. As they advanced, Arcadia took care of business in the first round. What's your thoughts here, man? Tatum, have you had a chance to see Arcadia on the boys' side?
I have. I've watched Arcadia play. I've watched Arcadia play a few games. Arcadia has a really active big and a kid that plays the 2 guard that's really tough. They got a new coach this year, so he has those boys playing really good basketball. I like the schedule that Arcadia played, so I'm taking Arcadia in that matchup against Dale High.
Dale High.
I haven't seen Lake Arthur or Faraday though.
Hey, Faraday played the one and only Richwood and lost to them by 18 last game of the season. So they at least trying to challenge themselves and see where the bar's at. Josh, you seen any of these teams? You got anything you want to add with this one?
No, I haven't seen any of these guys, but just looking over Faraday's schedule real quick, Curtis handled them pretty good by 20 something, and then they also lost to Reed. So Reed with another good run in here, and lost to Madison by a good bit. So I don't know. I guess I don't see a ton of really good wins in here. So I don't know. Maybe this might be Arcadia's bracket.
You got Arcadia coming through. I like it, man. Let's keep it moving again, guys. In the comments, man, feel free to comment, especially as we get lower in the classification. We'll definitely be relying on you guys a lot. We got Lakeview here, man. Lakeview getting it done on the girls' side. They're the 1 seed in this bracket. They're a 3 seed on the boys' side. Josh, we had talked about it. North Central being one of those teams that just kind of gets it done year in, year out. They're back in it again, second round game here. What's your guys' thoughts on this part of this bracket?
I don't know any of these schools.
Yeah, I don't know any of these schools either, but I mean, just like you mentioned, I know North Central is always just really scrappy. They just probably one of them teams that got people that want to guard you for 94 feet. So if they're like that again, maybe they'll give East Iberville some trouble. I'm checking out their schedule. They lost to East Iberville, lost to Newman, lost to Bonnabel, lost to Denham Springs.
Upset alert. Upset alert.
Lost to Dunham. But I mean, they're at least playing good teams. So I mean, I think that counts for something. Maybe they can,
True.
Maybe they've, been tested a little bit. So I don't know if I'd call it upset, but I'll still take East Iberville. I like that they playing good teams.
I like it. Again, guys, comment in the comments, man. Let us know if you got any insight on any of these teams as we get a little lower in classification. Hanesville, Montgomery, Ringgold, and Franklin. What you got? You guys got anything on these? Ringgold with a big win. Hanesville looked like they was locking up on defense, held Magnum to 28. And then Montgomery defeated Jonesboro Hodge. I know we talked about them a little bit last time. Tatum, you got anything on this part of the bracket?
I've seen Hanesville play. Hanesville is tough. I'm taking Hanesville in this game, and I've watched Ringo play a couple of games. Ringo is really tough. I don't know anything about Franklin, so I'm going to go with what I know and put Franklin on an upset alert and say Ringo is going to beat Franklin.
Here we go. Franklin.
Yeah.
Josh, you jumping on the you jumping off the ledge against Franklin as well, man?
Nah, I'm not gonna be able to do it. I'm gonna go chalk right here. I'm gonna take Hanesville and Franklin.
I like it, man. I like it. We'll keep it moving. Crescent City, man. Josh, you want to talk about them a little bit? I know you had talked about the job that Coach B. Russ is doing over there, man. Just getting it done at the end of the day, man. Not afraid to play anybody, despite being one of the smallest schools in the state. Give them a little bit of love, man, and break it down for the people that don't know about Crescent City.
I see this is at 2:00 tomorrow, so I don't know. I guess I might be going to 2 games. I am not going to Orpheus, am I? I'm not going to Orpheus. All right. Crescent City, yeah, you mentioned Coach Brandon Russ. I mentioned it last time, but last game I was at, which was pretty late in the season, he wasn't there. And last time I talked to him, he said he had some, sort of a family issue going on. So hope everything's kind of getting situated with that. But, obviously Dwight McGee is one of the top players in the state. I think probably like top 10, 15-ish, maybe regardless of class.
Yeah.
He's like, if he's not one of the top just best players, he's definitely in the top 10 as most fun to watch. He's off the bounce, 3-pointers, can get to the rim a little, some finish with either hand, mid-range, really good handle. He's one you want to catch if you can. And then Isaiah Stevens is the guard. Next to him, he's a senior. Another kid I think probably has a chance to play somewhere in college. Cameron James. Yeah, James is his last name. He's a big wing. Really athletic. If he gets hot, he can probably hit a few shots from outside. And then Kenneth Malarshaw is the big. He's probably like 6'5", 6'6", and just kind of does all the dirty work for him. I don't think they'll have too many problems in this game. I might go to this game since it's literally down the street from me. And then ML King, I haven't gotten a chance to see them, but I know they're in a pretty tough district, and I think they played a good schedule this year. So I'll roll with them to come out of that game too.
Yeah, that's definitely a tough schedule.
Yeah, they played.
Just looking at that, yeah. I mean, Central Pride, no disrespect. I mean, they're from the Baton Rouge-ish area, but they haven't played the schedule MLK's played.
Yeah.
Tatum, you want to add anything about Crescent City or this part of the bracket?
It's the Crescent City Invitational.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Let's keep it moving, man. Everybody else, y'all just stay home, man. Ain't no point in showing up.
I'm a little worried about Crescent City. I know they got some stuff going on, and I'm a little bit worried, but they're the team. I still think they're the team to beat.
Ville Platte got the dogs. They letting you know, man. They letting you know in the chat, man. Ville Platte's got dogs, man.
I'm gonna watch that Ville Platte game this weekend since they keep talking about Ville Platte. I just don't know anything about the team, but I'm certainly gonna tune in and try to find out what the story is.
Hey, they love their basketball, man. That's for damn sure. Hamilton Christian, man, we talked about them before. They got the bye. I don't think either of you guys have had a chance to really check them out. But I mean, again, another team that's kind of in that mix in the semis, the quarterfinals, year in year out. Anything y'all can add to this part of the bracket here? Tim, have you had a chance to see Cedar Creek or anybody up there?
I did. So I've watched Cedar Creek play a few games. They lost their best player, but this past Friday they had a kid. He broke his finger in the first quarter, and then came back in the second half and scored 19 points. He finished with 25 points. So Cedar Creek is playing with a ton of confidence right now. A lot of times teams are most dangerous when they're wounded. So Cedar Creek could be a threat to Vermilion Catholic. I'm not going to fall on the sword for them, though. I think they had a great story last week, but that might be it for Cedar Creek.
I like it. Josh, what about you, man? Got anything to add? I think you had said I forgot if you said you saw Hamilton Christian or not, or.
No, I think I might have mentioned being familiar with their coach, but no, I really don't have much on any of these teams.
All right, we're gonna table this quarterfinal conversation until we see who comes out of it. That's gonna bring us down to the next part of the bracket, man. You got Southern Lab, Central Catholic with an upset there. They're gonna take on Ascension Catholic. What part of this part of the bracket, man? Can anybody beat Southern Lab? Come out of here and play against Southern Lab, man. What's y'all's thoughts?
I just hope nobody beats Southern Lab so I can see them play Lincoln Prep.
Well, and just for those that don't know, man, why you want to see that game, man? Why you want to see that game?
So Lincoln Prep, formerly known as Grambling High, has probably been one of the schools from up here that's produced a lot of the best players that the state has seen. So the one thing about Grambling High, they always produce great players. Whenever they got down south, it was always Southern Lab that punched them in the mouth. So the Southern Lab, Grambling High / Lincoln Prep rivalry, the kids may not know a lot about it, but us older folks, we do know about it. So that's going to be a game that everybody that ever went to Grambling High is going to be talking about. And I'm pretty sure folks that went to Southern Lab are going to be talking about as well. So that's a legacy game that I think will mean a whole lot for the community if Lincoln Prep can get the opportunity to play them again.
We got Trenton here coming for our neck, man, with the crystal ball. You know, it's just a little motivation, man. But now they're coming for Lincoln Prep as well, man. Ringo in the building, man. Ringo in the building, man. We see
she is telling the truth about Ringo, and that's why I got them. That's why I got them on the. I'm saying that they can beat Franklin. They did beat Lincoln Prep, and they beat Arcadia.
That's huge.
They're a tough team.
That's huge. Josh, man, what's your thoughts, man? You got anything you want to add on this part of the bracket?
Nah, not really too much. I didn't get a chance to see Southern Lab, but looking at their schedule, they played a bunch of good teams. They played pretty much all of those good teams around Baton Rouge. I saw like Skylandville and Catholic on the schedule. Liberty was on the schedule, so I don't think they're gonna have much trouble in this area.
Cool, man. Let's keep it moving. Bottom half of the bracket, man. The Lincoln Prep Invitational, man. You heard it here last week. Tatum was all about it. Looks like Lincoln Prep's just gonna walk through. Everybody else, y'all can just stay home, man. Ain't no point in showing up. But you want to double down on that, Tatum, or
I'm gonna go ahead and double down on it. Lincoln Prep is one of the toughest defensive teams that I get the opportunity to watch play basketball. Coach Hudson has those guys playing defense at a really high level. It literally, I think I said it last week, it looks like they have 6 players on the court. If anybody has to go to Lincoln Prep to play a game, the gym is going to be packed. They've got a new gym out there. Lincoln Prep is just tough to beat. The player to watch on that team is Joseph Spann. They call him Trey. And they've got another player, Devin Burton, who's really been playing well. Marjay Young has come on and picked up his scoring. He's picked up his scoring the second half of the season. And then there's another kid, Frederion Payne. He's hit some big shots for Lincoln Prep down the stretch.
Is he related to Fred Payne?
Oh, that's his baby boy.
That's
you talking about? So that's Fred Payne that was at Lincoln Prep. That's at Boston College right now.
Yeah,
that's his little brother.
That's his little brother. Okay, yeah,
brother.
I remember Fred. Yeah,
yeah.
Okay.
So Fred's little brother is over there too. Lincoln Prep is hard to beat. Lincoln Prep is a squad full of hoopers that the coach is taught how to defend and play the game of basketball. So give me Lincoln Prep coming out of this one.
Josh, man, unless you want to get, raped over the coals in the comments, man, you going Lincoln Prep as well? Or
yeah, I'm going Lincoln Prep. They're not about to get me. I got it. Plus, you got Fred, little brother on the team. I'm sold.
I love it, man. Look, we're gonna jump into the last two Class B and Class C, man. Again, as they get smaller classifications, it's a lot more difficult to get out and see all these teams, man. So, guys in the comments, if you've seen some of these teams, like the person was talking about Ringo, man, that's a lot of good information there. If you've seen any of these teams in Class B and Class C, man, comment those. Let us know, man. Lacassine, they're going to take on Fairview, second round game. I'm trying to see if those teams have played each other. Lacassine is just on an absolute tear, man. They've already beat Fairview by 30. That was much earlier in the season. Lacassine lost his first game of the year and hasn't lost since. Just kind of looking at the schedules, even not seeing the teams, man, do y'all think anybody can compete with Lacassine, or will they just kind of rock and roll through these next two games? We'll see them in Lake Charles.
I haven't seen any of these schools play.
Yeah, I haven't seen any. I haven't heard much about any of them. I think Stanley has the kid that I can't remember his name, but he scores a ton. But yeah, it looks like Lacassine will probably roll through this bracket.
And I mean, I think somebody talked about Kris in the comments. Talked about Lacassine having a really good guy on their team, kind of surrounded with some good pieces. Again, guys, anybody in the comments, man, comment and kind of help shine some light on both Class B and Class C. We got a really good following on the girls' side, so probably some people are tuned in on that Class B and Class C side. So the more comments you guys can throw in there, man, the better it'll help. Lacassine's only loss is the Greek. Let me double check that, because that would be an interesting matchup. Yeah, that was actually Lacassine's only loss. So that would be interesting to see that game in the quarterfinals. Lacassine's been undefeated since, so if they lose or if they both win, got a chance to avenge that loss. That would be very, very interesting. We're going to keep it moving. Kane Broussard, I think that's the kid's name that they were talking about. Guys, get a chance, man. Check him out. Hopefully we'll get a chance to see him in Lake Charles. But we'll move it down, man. We got Hicks versus Doyle. How you say it?
Doyleen.
Hicks is going to take on Doyleen. I know Tatum, you were talking about Doyleen. Definitely got that game. Kind of penciled in. Simsboro at the bottom. Simsboro seems to always have a good squad as well. What's y'all's thoughts? You got any insight, Tatum, on Doyleen? 6'5" knockdown shooter for Lacassine.
So Doyleen, I've watched Doyleen play a couple of games this year. Doyleen is tough. I don't know anything about Hicks. I just know Hicks is a team that normally comes up whenever you're talking about this class. Just because I've seen Doyleen and I know they got some hoopers over there, I'm going to take Doyleen. For Shudan and Simsboro, I went to watch Shudan play Episcopal of Acadiana last Friday night. Small town basketball at its finest. Shudan has got a kid named Carson Carrico. He's a shooter. He's had 10 3-point games, 8 3-point games. They couldn't do anything to stop the kid. They were face guarding him, and he was still out there getting buckets. Carson Carrico is the real deal. Now, with that being said, Simsboro got 3 or 4 Carson Carricos. They're going to play each other on Tuesday night. Simsboro and Shudan are on the opposite sides of Ruston. So this is going to be the game that brings those two communities together. I don't even know if the gym is going to be able to be big enough to hold all of those people, but that's probably going to be the biggest game of Tuesday night for the area. I'm going to go with Simsboro. I love Shudan. I get the opportunity to talk to the coach whenever I interview him, but Simsboro is going to be too much. Their point guard is a kid that I look to play at the next level in Tremarian Smith. They've got a freshman shooter, Ahmad Smith, that can absolutely shoot lights out. Another kid, Caleb Modest, I think through the first 10 or 11 games of the season, he was averaging 32 points a game. They've got kids that can absolutely shoot. If I could compare them to a team that you might know, they play basketball like the Fairview girls do. They move the ball up and down the court. They're going to get as many shots on the goal as possible. And the only thing you got to wait is for one of them to get hot. They had a bench player at a game I went to a couple of weeks ago. First player off the bench came in, hit 8 3-pointers in the second half. So they can shoot it. They got them on standby.
I see that, man. I mean, they got a shooter in the building. Everybody down, man. Everybody on the ground, man. That's 8 all in the second half, Josh. Somebody in New Orleans doing that? I'm just asking. We got too much to do, man. People ain't in the gym like that. I'm putting it out there, man. We got too much to do in the city.
But a couple of the ones we had, they kind of had some down years this year. So
off the bench? Coming off the bench?
Well, not off the bench. No, not off the bench.
You shooting like that in the city, man. You gonna have a starting spot on one of these squads, man. Again, guys, appreciate the comments, man. Kris, hey, I'm leaning heavy on you, man. Kris the Ball's taking notes, man. Kris, I need some more insight on the teams in the area, man. What's Anna Coco got? Anybody in the area in these classes? Kris, go and let us know, man. Let us know in the comments. Tatum, you had talked a little bit about Zawali Tamale, man. Zawali Tamale going to get it done, man. They're going to
give me my Zawali Tamales, man. They got a kid over there. I don't think anybody's going to be able to stop. I think Zawali rolls in their bracket. Quitman is a tough team from up in this area. They've been playing really good ball, so I'm going to take Quitman. And if Quitman sees Zawali, I'm taking Zawali.
Zawali gets it done. Zawali Tamale. We don't know when the Tamale Festival is, but it's going to be the festival going to be coming down to Lake Charles, according to Mr. Tatum right here. Josh, you got anything you want to add on that, man? We're going to keep it moving. I know there's not too many Class B and C schools in the area, man. Not even in Baton Rouge either. So
yeah, Zawali, I just know them from always being in the semis of championships, so I'll go with them.
Hey, somebody got to bring us some tamales to Lake Charles, man. I'm just saying. Glenmore, man. Glenmore is having a good year, man. I don't know if they can take down APC, but what's y'all's thoughts here on this part of the bracket, man? I know a lot of fans been ranting and raving about APC getting it done. Can anybody stay within maybe 10 points of them? What y'all's thinking?
I watched Avoye. I saw them beat Bossier in December. I watched them beat Huntington at the Grambling camp in the summer. Avoye is tough. I don't see anybody beating Avoye. And for that class, if there's a better team than Avoye, I haven't seen them.
So you got Avoye's public chart as the favorite, even over Lacassine, despite Lacassine hadn't lost a game since October.
I don't know anybody that Lacassine played.
I got you. All right, Lacassine's underdog, despite being the 1 seed.
Dang, disrespect.
I don't know anybody that they played, man. I've watched Avoye. Avoye, look, they always play tough teams. The first time I saw them play, I was at Southwood, and they played Madison Prep last year. So when you start talking about a Class B or a C team saying we're going to play against Madison Prep, I think it comes down to who's battle tested and who isn't. And I'm not picking anybody over Ovoye. I love the point guard, the 2 guard. I mean, 1 through 5. They're just a tough team.
Hey, my man Kris saying we need Lackassine versus APC in the finals.
That's going to be a good game.
That's going to be a good one, boy. That's going to be on a Friday night. That's going to be a good-ass game, man. That's going to be a good-ass game. We already got part of this one, man. Reeves advanced, with the girls kind of making a deep run in the playoffs, man. They decided to play that game a little earlier, and I don't know if you guys saw that game, but the comeback that Reeves had, anybody got that video, pin it in the chat, type it in the chat. That's definitely going back and watching. They were down
overtime.
81-80
is crazy.
Oh man, life is different in Class B and C, baby. Hey, they don't teach defensive stance. They just teach turn your man and keep it running.
Yeah. But all the bucket getters. Let's go.
Reeves was like down by I think like 3 or 4. Scored a bucket, got a steal, hit a and one late. It was crazy, man. If anybody in the comments that's listening, tag that video, man. I saw it earlier. I think I had to repost it. I would love to see it again and share it with everybody. But Reeves advanced. They got it done, man. Pleasant Hill, they're the 1 seed for a reason. Y'all got anything y'all want to add on this one, man? I think Pleasant Hill is based off of their schedule. They'll kind of roll through here. Anybody in the comments, y'all got anything to add? Y'all go ahead and add it as well.
I'll just shout out Javante Ford at Pleasant Hill. He's definitely one of the top 26s in the state. I've seen him in the gym working. I went to a gym in Shreveport, and the kid was just in there knocking down everything that he was throwing up, sweating, working hard. So give me Pleasant Hill and Javante Ford.
Oh, Kris, that was your son that got the steal in the 3. That's crazy. So, man,
that's what's up.
So they were down 75-80, and they came back and won 81-80. That is crazy, dude. I couldn't even imagine it. Kris, you got the video on that? If you do, man, tag it or post it. I saw somebody else had posted that, man. It just happened so freaking fast. It happened so fast. Georgetown, another team that already played. Man, shout out to Maripol, dude. Maripol lost their coach. He had resigned, and so they went in with a new coach that just got it done, man. I can't remember the last time Maripol won a playoff game or even really had a playoff game, man. So to win one right there, man, that's huge home win. They'll advance and play Family Christian. Well-coached team there. Family Christian's probably the favorite. Have either y'all seen either of these teams here? I'll probably lean towards Family Christian to take care of business at home.
I saw the girls, but not the boys.
Again, man, one of those groups where coached by the same guy, man, coaches both boys and girls, man. Coach Steve Michelle does a great job, man. He's definitely going to have them ready. Maripol's just not on that level just yet, man. So Family Christian will probably cruise on to win that one. It gets us down to the bottom side. We got Gibbsland Coleman, man. Phoenix, man. Shout out to Coach Giles. I saw him. He was in here earlier. What's your thoughts, man? Josh, you hadn't had a chance to see Phoenix, man. We might have to give Phoenix a little bit of love, man. Give Coach Giles a little bit of love. Another guy that coaches both boys and girls, man, doing it at a high level.
I kind of been having my eye on him for like the last couple of years, but never just got a chance to see him. I think I mentioned the kid last time, Rondell Battle. I think he averaged like 25 last year, and I think he's doing more of the same this year. This is his last year, his senior year. So hopefully they do make it to semis to Lake Charles, and I get a chance to catch him.
And Tim, you had a chance to watch Gibbsland Coleman?
I've been watching Gibbsland Coleman all season. I watched Gibbsland Coleman beat Lincoln Prep at a neutral location. DeAvery and DeMarquise Durham. The name makes them sound like brothers, but I think they're cousins. They've got another kid over there that's a shooter. They've got a young kid they bring off the bench. They can hit shots. I'm taking Gibb. Gibb has got championship pedigree. Gibb plays a tough schedule. They played against Ruston and played Ruston pretty tough. They played against Minden. They played Minden tough, so they play against the top teams in the area, and they're one of the only small school teams that like to hang out in Shreveport and play basketball against those guys. So they're tough, they're skilled, they're really aggressive, and I'm taking Gibb in this one.
Gibbs gets it done over Phoenix, man. Rob's job from seeing Phoenix, man. Look, Kris was right. He did tag me,
I got Phoenix.
And I did share that. So look, if you're tuning in, man, you want to go back and watch that crazy comeback, man, click that link right there that I just posted up, man. That was wild. Again, they were down 75-80 and ran it out on a 6-0 run as come from behind victory, man. Last but not least, you got Plainview at the bottom. Has anybody seen any of these teams? These are even hard teams for me to catch on the girls' side. Kris in the comments, anybody that's in the Class B, Class C, have you guys seen anybody? Can anybody compete with Plainview here? Or is Plainview going to rock and roll and take on Coleman? Tatum, have you seen anybody in this group?
I haven't seen any of those schools. I don't think any of those are in my area.
Josh, how about you, man?
Yeah, I got nothing on these guys.
Man, I'm just going back and watching this video, dude. This is crazy. This is 16.36 seconds left. I don't know how you can have that many seconds. 16.36 seconds left. They're down by
3 seconds. Yeah, that's a very precise scoreboard.
They're down by 80-76, and the video is only a minute and 18 seconds left. That is wild. What a hell of a comeback. Kris Waters, man, appreciate you for jumping on, man, and commenting there, man, saying Plainview should win. Plainview will win easily, and Claiborne Christian upsets Hornbeck. All right, hey, you heard it here, man. Hey, the crystal ball is taking notes, man. The crystal ball is taking notes. Look, man, we really appreciate everybody for jumping on, man. Hopefully we get a chance to jump back on next Sunday, where we're able to break down the rest of the way the boys' championships. Well, at that point, the brackets will be released. Again, man, appreciate everybody for joining us. Tatum, man, you want to plug your social media as well as the Prep Hoops, and just kind of talk to everybody about how important it is to have kind of that Prep Hoops login.
All right, so if you've got a player and you're trying to get your player recruited and you're trying to get a little bit of information out there, trying to get him out there, go to Prep Hoops, sign up, set up a profile for your player. Another thing about the Prep Hoops is we do rankings for every single class. So one of the reasons that I know a lot of these players is because I get to see them play, and those players are ranked players. So sign up for Prep Hoops. Check Prep Hoops out, see where your player ranks at, get to the Prep Hoops events. I'm on social media. My Instagram is Donald.Tatum73. Send me videos, highlights, schedules, anything. I generally spend my time out in the evenings and on the weekends going out to check out basketball. We've just got a new scout that's going to be covering the southern region. His name is Alan Shaw. I don't know his Instagram right now, but if you look up Prep Hoops LA on Twitter/X, you'll see the both of us on there.
You know that's Alan Shaw's dad at Shaw.
Yes, sir, I do.
Yep. That's him.
Same thing, man. Josh,
man, he's got another Alan Shaw too. Is Alan Shaw the fifth?
That's the young
one.
Yeah, and he had an Alan Shaw the third that went to Eric.
Dang.
Yeah, so look, and we're really happy to have Alan on with us because he's really knowledgeable. He's coached. He's an AAU guy, and he has kids that play. He's really knowledgeable about the game. Before he came on the Prep Hoops platform, he and I used to bump heads and talk about basketball all the time. So a lot of the players down south that may not have had visibility because we didn't have somebody down there to watch them, we do have a scout in the South right now. So that'll provide more coverage, which should lead to more opportunities and visibility for the players in the South. I really don't like saying I haven't seen a kid or I haven't heard of a kid or I haven't seen a school. But hopefully with Alan coming on, we can bridge the gap between some of those smaller schools and big schools and get a little bit more exposure for players.
Love it, man. Josh, man, same thing, man. Just kind of plug your social, man. I went ahead and posted Josh's YouTube channel on there, man. It's absolutely free to just click the button, subscribe, man. Just subscribe to the man's YouTube channel. He's got 20,000 followers and 3,000 videos. Josh, man, let them know where they can find you at, man.
Yeah, like Kris said, he just dropped the link there. It's Josh Preston's video vault on YouTube, or you can just search my name on YouTube. It'll probably come up. Been doing it for a while now. You can also get a membership. It's $10 a month. You get the games early. You get full games. Every now and then I'll put out a full game, but normally I keep those for the members. You can find me on Instagram, Twitter, TikTok, all that good stuff. It's all J Preston Sports. It's J Preston Sports 504 on TikTok. But outside of that, just appreciate y'all watching, appreciate y'all listening, and hopefully we'll be back on more.
Hey, they gonna find you on the sidelines, man. I'm just saying, man. Y'all been saying some controversial things, man. So let them know. Let them know when you see him. Like if Bill Platt comes down there and upsets anybody, man, just let them know where Tatum's at, man. But look, man, I really appreciate y'all, man, for jumping on, man. Appreciate y'all for taking again 2 hours out of y'all's time on a Sunday, man, to help just grow the game of basketball, man. We'll definitely look to jump back on Sunday as the boys. At that point, we'll be in the Final Four. We'll be down to 40 teams, man. So we'll be down to 40 teams. So good luck to everybody, man. Safe travels, man. And until next time, guys, we'll see y'all. Appreciate it.